السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن عدة الشهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم ذلك الدين القيم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today is 25th of Dhul Hijjah and the year is 1444 Hijri. And this month is the last month of the year. And next month, Muharramul Haram, would be the first month of 1445 Hijri. Before Islam, these were the names of the months, and even there were 2 systems. One was solar system and the other one was lunar system. And according to lunar system and according to the Islamic calendar, whatever the names of months we have, these were the names of the month at that time, before even Islam. And the solar system months were the same. That is why we know that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam was born 500 or 600 years before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This system, they were there. But the year used to change. Some incident happened, some very important incident happened, they would start their year from there. For example, Amul Fil. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born, 55 days before his birth, the incident took place that Abraha came from Yemen and he wanted to conquer or demolish Ka'batullah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Ababil and finished them. This was a big incident. So that year was called Amul Fil. Islamic months and even the solar months, they were all the same. There was the difference between two systems I want to tell you, because since we are talking about the end of the year, and end of the year means that we will be starting another year. What are the problems and what are the consequences we face? Very big problem at the moment everywhere is Eid is today, Eid is tomorrow. Fasting is today, fasting is tomorrow. Sometimes 3 days. It is very easy. There are two systems. One is solar system, which is fixed. It does not change. And the cycle of this system completes in 1 year. According to the solar system, we have set our timings of Salat. It with the movement of the sun. And it stays throughout the year. The same pattern, it goes on and on. But the cycle of lunar system, it completes in 8 years. 1 year it would be something, the next year it would be different. Every month would be different. And those who are called Roshan Khayal, bright-minded, educated, they come up with some suggestions. They said, how come science has developed so much? We have calculated everything. And they give reference of the Salat. They say that according to the calculations, we have set our Salat timings. How I cannot set our timings of Eid and Ramadan? This is very difficult. Difficult if you don't understand. But it is very easy if you do understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had these both systems at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the ayat reveals, and it is फरमाए कि यसअलूनका अनिल अहिल्ला. People ask you about moon, hilal. قل هي مواقيت للناس والحج. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set the lunar system for setting your months and you're setting your years. Mawaqit, the timings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wasn't there solar system then? Fixed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have said, okay, follow the sun. It is all set. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned ahilla so we can set our timings according to the moon sighting. And I tell you what, if we want to change something in Sharia, the reason we say, because of ittihad, because of uniformity, unity. Tell me, every unity is good? I don't think so. For example, if all the Muslims here and they plan to kill someone, and some of they say, no, we would like to oppose them. Is their opposition is good or bad? That means unity is not always good. And differences not always bad. Sometimes difference is good. For example, someone is trying to burn someone's house, and one person comes and he says, I want to see how you can burn it. He is opposing it. Is that ikhtilaf? Is that good or bad? Good. He is trying to save someone. That means the principle, setting the principle that you have to have unity is not good. Why? Because if any unity, any ittihad, if you are demolishing the hukm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that goes in the bin. That suggestion is not accepted. In Pakistan, my father, Maulana Nizamul Haq rahmatullah alayh, he used to maintain the moon sighting. So there was a president, Ayub Khan. He called him. He wanted to discuss something about moon sighting. He said, Maulana, the calculation and the advancement is so much that we can, each and every minute we know where the moon is. People have landed on the moon. What time they landed. Everything is on record. So, my father asked him, I said, what do you want to say? He said that, why can't we are fighting on the sighting of moon, why can't we just go in the fixed system, calculated system? See, calculated system, it is easy to say. In India, there was Hakim Ajmal Khan. Just I'm giving you examples so that you would know. Hakim Ajmal Khan called a conference that how we can get the British out from India. So he called a conference to make Hindu and Muslims united. So they contacted ulama and scholars. Hakim Ajmal Khan had a big convention. Maulana Shabbir Ahmad Usmani, very famous name in subcontinent. Maulana Shabbir Ahmad Usmani went there, represented Maulana Hussain Ahmad Madani rahmatullah alayh. And he said that we are ready, we are united we can do the unity with Hindus in order to get the British out of India. But let me tell you that we will be still slaughtering the cow. We will not compromise on any Shariat ahkam. He gave his speech there. Every Muslim thought yes, and the Hindus were not accepting it. He came back. Hakim Ajmal Khan, he writes a letter to him. And he starts his letter, Ayyuhal Aduwul Habib. It means, oh my dear enemy. He said, you are my enemy because you failed my plan. I had planned that we might get united with Hindus. You failed it. But the reason I wrote dear is that because you stood by the hukm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You stood by the ahkam of Ilahi. And that's what it is. That if you stick to Shariat, no compromise on Shariat. If you want to change Shariat for any reason, that unity is rejected. Allah's ahkam is on top. So my father said to him, father said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Quran Kareem that these are the things you have to follow moon for your maintaining your months and year. So he had nothing to say. And this is because, superstition, that since we have got this superstition everywhere now, you are traveling, if the black cat passes through, oh, stop. People say black cat passes, you will have an accident. Astaghfirullah. These kind of superstitions. So there was one superstition that if there are 2 khutbahs on one day, it is heavy on the hakim, the ruler. So one year, my father said the moon hasn't been sighted because the Eid was coming on Friday. The president said that it is, we have had the ijlas, we had the meeting of Ruwayat-e-Hilal. No shahada has come from anywhere in Pakistan. We have decided, and we are about to announce in 1 minute live on air that moon has not been sighted and the Eid will be on Saturday. No, Eid will be on Friday. So he says that I just flew from Karachi to Islamabad, and from the plane I saw the moon. My father said that if you have seen the moon, don't fast tomorrow, but celebrate Eid with the whole nation. The intention was just to change the rule, change the hukm shariat. It is not on. If ulama, if the jurisdiction and the jurisprudence of Islam, they stick to the rules, I tell you, everywhere and someone will try to slow poison the Sharia somehow or the other. They always come and make the changes. I will give you one example quickly. There was one person who used to make the cover of the books, binding, book binding. He used to do that. Very beautifully he used to do it. Very good job. And he was famous for it. But he had one weakness. He had learned some Arabic, some Farsi, some languages. So he was thinking that he is probably the genius of everyone. So when the book comes, he used to read it. And all he will do, he would put the comments on the books as well. One Maulana Sahab came and he brought one Quran Kareem Mus'haf which didn't have any cover. So he brought him and he says, "Can you please put the cover on?" He said, "Yes." He said, "But be careful." He said, "Yes, inshallah." He said, "Look, this is very muqaddas book." He said, "Yes, why?" He said, "No, I just want to know that you don't write any comments or anything on it." And he goes and he says, "After 1 week you should come back." He said, "Okay." After a week he goes, very good cover. He was so glad to see it. And when he has given the hadiyah, he said, "You didn't make any changes or anything, you didn't write anything." He said, "Oh yes, one place." La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. "What did you do?" He says that in Quran Kareem says that فَعَسَى آدَمَ رَبُّهُ فَغَوَى. Asa, if you write Asa Ain Swad Ya Fatha Tawila, that means Ma'asiyat, Guna. And if you write Ain Swad Alif, that means Asa, the stick. So when he read this Asa Adam Rabbuhu Fagawa, so he says Asa was with Musa, not with Adam. So he cuts Adam and he writes Musa there. Maulana Sahab said, "Oh, thank God you told me." Anywhere else? He said, "Yes." There was one place it was said, "Kharru Musa sa'iqa." When Musa saw the tajalli of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he fainted. Khurur. Khar comes from khurur. But in khar in Farsi, Persian, it is donkey. So he says, donkey was not with Musa. He cuts Musa and writes Isa there. He says, donkey was with Isa. Maulana Sahab says, anywhere else? He says, I had gone through all the Quran and everything. You said it is so muqaddas. It says Iblis, it says Haman, it says Shaitan. He said, what did you do then? He says, I didn't know anyone's name. I cut all of them and I put your name there. This is tahrif. Whatever knowledge we have, we want to mold Shariat according to our needs, according to our thinking. This is not right. I tell you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the guidelines. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam during Hijrat, when he is coming, he did not reach Medina yet, but the Surat reveals, Ayat reveals. फरमाए कि वैलुल मुतफ्फिफीन अल्लज़ीना इज़ा क़ालू अलन नासि यस्तौफून व इज़ा क़ालूहुम अव वज़नूहुम युख़सिरून. हलाकत, बर्बादी, destruction, wail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses wail where the height of the anger, destruction for those who made changes in their weighing. This was the marz in Medina, that they used to weigh less always. So that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given guidelines. Although they were making difference of maybe grams, we look for the gram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks for nizam, for the system. If you break the system, whether it is with 1 gram or 1 kilo, you have broken the system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like it. We will be talking inshallah more and more about how we can have our year and how we had in Islam, how we had our Shariat, how our calendar was set, and how we will be talking about inshallah, about the Hijrah in next Friday, inshallah. May Allah give us tawfiq. One thing is that this year is finishing, the last moment of the year. Next Friday, we might, inshallah, will be having in next year, and Muharramul Haram, inshallah. So, last moments are very important. Before year ends, we should make our resolution for the year. And I tell you, one shair says, I will translate it to you. फरमाया कि जो खेलों में तूने लड़कपन गंवाया, you had spent your teenage with playing here and there. जो खेलों में तूने लड़कपन गंवाया तो बदमस्तियों में जवानी गंवाई. And your youth you have spent in wasting your time, wasting your youth, wasting your energy. और जो अब गफलतों में बुढ़ापा गंवाया, now it's old age if you have wasted this time. जो अब गफलतों में बुढ़ापा गंवाया तो बस ये समझ जिंदगानी गंवाई. If you wasted this old age of yours, that means the last time of your life, then it means you have wasted the whole life. Throughout the life you have enough. You have enjoyed your teenage, you have enjoyed every time, but the last moment you should think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ahkam should be on priority. May Allah give us tawfiq to act upon it. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin salatan tunajjina biha min jami'il ahwali wal afat wa taqzi lana biha jami'al hajat وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك على الدرجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والحمد لله.